Hello and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Joris and today I'm going to give the fifth update of 2024 for our portfolio. So it's actually the end of the first quarter of 2024, so it's a good time to give an update on our portfolio. And what I bought for our portfolio is SDGPEX. It's going to give a dividend in April, so I always try to buy it before it gives the dividend. And now I did it just after receiving our wages because you have to pay yourself first. I'm going to talk about the dividends we received this month and also the one that we still need to receive on the 4th of April from XYLF because it already went ex-dividend on the 27th of March, but we haven't received the dividend yet. And if you saw my previous video, you know that you should know those dates because the 4 dividend dates that really matter are depicted in that video. So certainly go and check that one out. And what I'm going to buy in April, that's of course GLDV. It's going to give a dividend in May. So it's really important that we buy on time the GLDV. So the ex-dividend date will be around the 1st or the 2nd of May. So at the end of April, we certainly need to buy GLDV. And then I'm going to do a new calculation for our future yearly dividends that we are going to receive with our portfolio that we have now. And also, looking forward to the dividends that we are going to receive in April. And then I'm going to give an update on our core satellite strategy. And then at least, but not the last, it's the last point, but not that less important. It's a dilemma that I'm facing and I really have a hard time. I'm going to talk about it immediately as well, about the SDGPEX. So on the 26th, I bought 49 pieces of SDGPEX for a total of 1,365.48. As you know, normally it's around 900 up to 1,000 Swiss francs that we can invest every month, and I went above it. So I still kept up with the schedule of reinvesting the dividends that we received, although I already reinvested the actual dividend into FLX Day in February. So yeah, I'm really having a hard time to deviate from our original plan. So I still stick to it, and I took a part of the money that was meant to go to our emergency fund to make up for the difference. So it's not actually that great because you should stick to your contributions to your emergency fund for sure, and I needed to top it up still from our car that broke down and we needed to buy a new one. So it's I think it's a mistake for me, but yeah. So it was 900 euros, in fact it's 900 Swiss francs. So with the conversion rate of the currency Swiss franc to euro, it was more that we could invest with 900 Swiss francs because it's then more than 900 euros. And then there was 466 euros that I needed to adjust for because that was the dividend that we received in January. So we had that amount to invest, and as you saw on the previous slide of the video, it's 1,365.48 that we invested, so a little less than a euro deviation. So I was really close now with the 49 stocks that I bought from the ETF. So in total now, this is where we are with our portfolio. So we have 1,306 shares of SDGPEX, and it's worth now 625.14 Swiss francs, and it rose quite a bit compared to the previous update that I gave, and that's also mainly due to the fact that the Swiss franc is actually going down a bit compared to the euro. So it's now 0.973, and that's due to the fact, of course, that the SNB dropped the interest rate with 0.25 percent points. And as you know, I totally agreed with their decision, and I still agree with their decision because, yeah, the only metric that is keeping the inflation rate high in America, in Europe, is actually the interest rate of the central banks itself. So in England, it's another thing. You also there have a wage spiral going on, but I think the SNB did the right thing, and that the euro is then going up. That's for me. That's totally okay. Certainly because I have a lot of SDGPEX in our portfolio, and yeah, when the euro is going up, our portfolios also going up in value in Swiss franc. So that's a nice side effect then for us. So then GLDV 70 pieces, now almost worth 2000, VHYL almost 3300, LDEG a bit worth over 1100, the FLXD a little bit less than 1900, and XYLF really performing great because they gave already two ex-dividends in March of more than 10 cents, and still it rose with more than 50 cents. So quite nice performance of XYLF, and now worth almost 775 Swiss francs. So if we look then at the value, so in the update that I gave last month on the 23rd of February, the total worth was 41,081.37 Swiss francs. And now with the inclusion of 49 SDGPEX, so at the price of 27.60, yeah, I'm going to go fast over it, but it's 1,352.40 euros invested extra, and then with the exchange rate of 0.973, you have to deduct of the difference between the total worth right now and the worth it was worth on the 23rd of February. You have to deduct 1,315.89 Swiss francs. So in total, we have a profit now of 2,256.02 Swiss francs. And that's a little bit over a month. So we went up almost 5.50%. So that's a really great performance. And we also received dividends. So the dividends that we received, the last one was VHYL on the 27th of March, and we received 20.10 US dollar. For LDEG, we received 2.19 euros because it's a really low amount, I know, but the next one is going to be a bit higher or a lot higher. And yeah, it was on the 22nd of March that we received that one. FLXD as well on the 22nd, and that was 10.91 euros. XYLF on the 15th of March, 5.87 US dollar. And of course, on the 4th of April, so I changed the previous slide a bit, but this is the dividend that it detached on the 27th of March, and the value date is going to be the 4th. So on the 4th, we will receive 6.08. That's an estimation. It can be 6.07 or 6.09. It's to see what the exchange rate is, of course, on the 4th. But right now the exchange rate is 0.9012 for US dollar towards Swiss francs. So it's an estimation, but I think it will be more or less accurate. So from the previous value slide, we know that we made a profit of 2,256.02 Swiss francs. And with the 5 dividends of XYLF, FLXD, LDG, and VHYL, we come to an actual rise of 2,297.62 Swiss francs, and that's a little bit less than 5.60%. But remember, we have, of course, which one is it? The LDEG and the SDGPEX that is noted in euro, and the euro rose in the past month. It rose 2.10% in value, so 0.953 up to 0.973. So that's a rise of 2.10%. So that contributed a lot of the 5.59% that we had. So yeah, sometimes you are lucky with the currency rate rise or drop. In this case, it's a rise. So yeah, then our value in Swiss francs goes up quite fast. So that's quite nice, and it's especially in the last week since the SNB rose the interest rate at the end of last week. So yeah, it was quite nice looking at the evolution of the value of our portfolio in the last week. The total amount in dollars that we have now on Swissquote is $88.90. And as you know, we are going to invest that in another ETF, and it's going to be the Emergency Market ETF EMHD. And yeah, it's still too low because of the cost, of course, on Swissquote. So the Swissquote costs are around $9. So investing this amount and then needing to pay $9 only for the cost of Swissquote. So then you have the stamp duty and the market tax. So it's then more than 13% that we need to pay on that transaction. So we are not going to buy the EMHD just yet, but it will come in the future for sure. But when, that's another question. And then the future dividends calculation. So it was 2,515.81 Swiss francs per year. And now with the addition of 49 shares of SDGPEX, and these are the values of the dividends that we received in the past 4 quarters. So when we add those up and we multiply them with 49, we get around 81 euros per year. And with the conversion rate of 1 euro being 0.973 Swiss francs, that comes down to plus 78.81 Swiss francs per year. And that means that right now, with our ETF portfolio, we have around 2,594.62 Swiss francs per year that we are going to earn. So that's really nice. I think I actually know for sure how is it called? The 2 stocks that we have, they are also going to pay out in May the dividends, and they are included. So it's not only our ETF portfolio that is giving these numbers. And actually I should increase it because one of our stocks increased its dividend for this year. So actually it should be higher, and then I think we already hit the 2600 mark for the year. So that's a mistake on my part, but it's now that I think about it, one of our stocks, and we only have two, they rose the dividend. So yeah, I think we are already there. So on the next update, I will certainly adjust that. And dividends to look forward to in April, of course, SDGPEX. That's why we added 49 shares at the end of this month so that we can take along. It's around the 16th of April that they are going to go ex-dividend, and then the payment date is quite fast for SDGPX. So I will be able to give an update fast, but I'm not going to give it only for the dividend that we received of SDGPX. I'm also going to do it at the end of the next month, and then yeah, I'm going to include the buy of the GLDV ETF as well. And of course, I already included it into the calculations, the payment of the dividend of XYLF on the 4th of April. And then about our core satellite investment plan. So this was how I ended the previous video about our core satellite investment plan. So the plan was to keep our two stocks. We had three, we sold one and invested that in some of our ETFs that we had on that moment at the I think it was end of November that I did that. And there were 4 ETFs on the bench, but I realized that our savings rate isn't high enough to realize it. So I'm not going to buy TRET, WENE, QYLD, and CHSPI. And EMHD I'm going to buy, but that one still needs to wait because the dollars need to come from VHYL, GLDV, and XYLF. So it's going to take a while, but one day we will get there, hopefully before the end of the year. But if it's not the case, then it is the way it is. So actually it's going to look like this now, our plan. So we have stock 1 and stock 2, and those are Swiss franc noted. We also have LDG and GLDV, VHYL, and SDGPX. So LDG is a European one, FLXD is also a European one, with the UK included, and SDGPX, VHYL, and GLDV are global dividend ETFs, and then the emergent market dividend ETF, and also the covered call XYLF. So that's the plan, that we stick to this. I should have made this one more fat because we already own the XYLF, but we don't own yet the EMHD. So where we should be is like this. So it's actually the distribution that you saw on the previous slide, but now in a cake diagram. So you have SDGPX 35%, and then a nice distribution about that covers the other ones. And actually FLXD, XYLF, and EMHD excuse me, are then our satellites, and the core is taking up 80% of the ETF portfolio. But if you look at where we are now, yeah, it's quite a different picture. So SDGPX is making up 82% of our portfolio. It was a little bit less, but I added, of course, a little bit over 1,300 euros to the portfolio for SDGPX, so it rose again. And EMHD is still at 0 and should be at 6. So we are far from where we need to be. And here lies my dilemma. So what do you think? Should we keep it up with SDGPEX? So this is the SDGPEX investments that we made. So we started in 2016, always inserting 900 euros every 3 months. So saving 300 euros every month and then investing it. And yeah, now with the euro being worth less than the Swiss franc, now I was here negative, so when I delete this one, I will do it, delete. Then you see that I went under the rest cash amount, but actually I had 23 Swiss francs left over, so I only needed to invest 877 Swiss francs to buy the 900 euros. So yeah, that's also a bit annoying here with the rest cash amount, but this is the predicted amount that we will receive. I don't know which it is going to be because it's not already announced what the amount is going to be in April, but I hope it's more or less the same, maybe a bit higher, just like the one in January was a bit higher than the one from the previous year, and that this amount is going to be a bit higher as well, but yeah, it's not that important. But today, although it's Karfreitag today, a holiday, we still received the the bill for paying the Swiss quote quarterly cost of 21.62 Swiss francs. So I paid it, and now we are above 500 Swiss francs in total in Swiss Swiss quote costs. That was a tongue breaker, and we are almost above 1,000 Swiss francs in costs. So yeah, it's a bit annoying, of course, the cost, but if you look at the amount of dividends that we already received, so a little bit over 6,500 euros that we received in dividends, so that's quite nice. And of course, SDGPX, it's important that you know that there all the dividends that we received are brut, but we don't have to pay the taxes on them immediately. It's only when we write everything down in our Steuererklärung that we need to pay the income tax on it. So in that regard, we always receive the netto amount of dividends for all our ETFs because we have a German one and Irish ones. So the agreement between Switzerland and Germany, the double taxation agreement, it's quite nice, of course, because you can postpone paying the taxes on it a bit. And for the Ireland ETFs, it's the same. So that's a good thing. But the annoying thing is that, yeah, if you look at our distribution here, yeah, we are far from where we need to be. So, yeah, do I need to keep it up, or do we need to start investing the dividends more into FLXD? I started, but then I was having second thoughts, and yeah, I deviated from the original plan to not do it anymore and still stick to it because yeah, we are already on it for 99 months, so then it's quite annoying to stop the flow. But maybe we should really start to do it, and because otherwise it's going to take a long time to get it as we plan our portfolio. So let me know in the comments down below what you would do in my place. Should I stop or should I go on with SDGPX investment like we planned? or should I deviate and start investing more as planned for our course satellite portfolio? And with that being said, I thank you for watching to this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that like button as well. That helps the video out because then it gets distributed to more potential viewers. Hitting that bell icon, that would be nice as well, but yeah, I don't do it often for other channels that I subscribe to as well, so don't feel obliged to do that. And thank you for watching and see you on my next video on my YouTube channel. Bye!